College terms have come to an end, and it's the worst time for graduates to enter the job market. The pandemic has led to mass layoffs across sectors, across countries, and there are no new jobs. Here's a report.
Robots have replaced students at college graduation. As students attended these virtual ceremonies, their minds were full of questions. How to stand out in this tough job market? Top tips for college graduates trying to find a job. 4 steps every new college graduate should take during the pandemic. It is the worst time to enter the job market. The global economy is in recession. Companies are battling financial stress and the risk of bankruptcy. And young graduates are staring at an uncertain future. They are being called the generation of COVID-19. Scroll through your feed on LinkedIn and you will find scores of fresh graduates appealing for help. Many of them attended the best colleges in the world. But as mass layoffs continue, no new jobs are being created. In India alone, around 10 to 12 million graduates enter the workforce each year. In China, 8 million graduates. In the US, over 4 million. In France, about 800,000 youngsters are seeking jobs. Many of them won't get a campus placement, which means no starting income, no work experience, and no way to repay the student loan, at least in the short term.
I'm entering the job market at the worst moment, I think. Maybe the worst since 1945. Realizing this was the first heart attack. The second was telling myself that all of this is happening in a particularly difficult context of social tensions and that it would drive a part of the population, even the middle class, towards a very difficult situation.
France was already one of the worst places in Europe to be a young job seeker. The labor market is rigid with few long-term job contracts. Today, even finding an apprenticeship is tough. Before the pandemic, France's unemployment rate for youth stood at 20%, the 4th highest in Europe after Greece, Spain and Italy. President Emmanuel Macron has pushed through reforms to liberalize France's highly regulated job market. He has even tried to incentivize the hiring of apprentices, and there is hope of hiring as companies reopen in September. But economists believe that may not happen.
We are also seeing layoffs and hiring freezes, and so this is a problem that in September, when companies restart their operations, a certain number of young people will enter the job market in a situation that remains extremely difficult for companies with financial stress and the risk of bankruptcy. So hiring freezes are likely.
With the private sector expected to keep hiring low for several years, governments may have to provide jobs for young graduates. For months since the virus outbreak, the fresh graduates had been confined to their dorms. Each day, they looked up job opportunities. With lockdown restrictions easing across the world and the college term coming to an end, students without a job may begin to queue up at unemployment centers. Young people with higher levels of education are more likely to feel resentful and depressed. Can governments stop the pandemic from claiming the careers of these young graduates? Bureau Report, WION World is One.